its unions. I wish I could tell you that the University of California is the only employer in America not paying its workers a living wage. I wish I could tell you that here at the university it is unique that the entity is trying to privatize and outsource jobs. But if I told you that, it simply would not be true, because what we are seeing all across this country is a war being waged against the working people of America. And the time is long overdue for the American people to stand up, to say enough is enough. That if you work 40 hours a week, you're entitled to decent wages, entitled to decent benefits, and entitled to be treated with respect and dignity. And here is why we have to stand up and fight back, because the truth is that for the last 40 years, there has been a massive transfer of wealth in this country, and it has gone in the wrong direction. Today, millions of workers in America, in the richest country in the history of the world, are forced to work 2 or 3 jobs just to pay the bills. Today in America, millions of people cannot afford the health care they need, the child care they need. They cannot afford to pay their rents because of the outrageous price of housing in California and all over this country. It is a sad state of events. It is a sad state of affairs when people in this community who work at this university cannot live in this community because they cannot afford to buy housing or pay the rent. Meanwhile, while the middle class shrinks, while 40 million Americans live in poverty, we have massive levels of income and wealth inequality, which is immoral and economically unsustainable. We have an absurd situation where 3 families in America own more wealth than the bottom half of this country. Where CEOs make 300 times what their workers are making. Where the top 1% owns more wealth than the bottom 90%. Where half of the workers in this country are living paycheck to paycheck and are scared to death that if their car breaks down and they can't get to work, they're going to get fired and not be able to provide for their kids. Scared to death that their kid might become sick and they can't afford to pay the doctor's bills. Now, the University of California is one of the great university systems in the world. But it is not good enough to be a great university. It is not good enough to be teaching our kids in a wonderful way. It's not good enough to be having a great hospital and a great medical center. The University of California must not be a corporate type employer. The University of California must be a model employer. It must be an employer that respects its workers. It must be an employer that treats